Well, I'm kind of bummed out. I went back on Amazon to see if I could find the Madden that goes with the NCAA football. But I couldn't find it. They didn't have the Madden, and neither did eBay. So I guess the 2012 games are just hard to find, and I couldn't find the sequel to Rayman Origins either. I couldn't find Rayman Legends either. So the sequels weren't available, at least not yet anyway. But I just have one question that's on my mind. You know how they always say God works in mysterious ways? What if the way I think this housing problem is going to be solved isn't how it's going to be solved? Because the only answer I have, like Scarlett said, I'm going to meet a woman at some point to resolve this. She's going to have something, I don't know, some kind of connection to me. But the one thing is, okay, let's take this into account. Every time I thought a problem was going to be solved one way, it was solved completely differently. Like the whole thing with me going somewhere medical when I was struggling with um, stuff when I was with my brother, and I was gonna meet two women that would change my status, I guess, change my ability to, because I broke my hip. I went to a medical place. I did meet two women, and the two women were involved in changing my ability to live on my own. Like they were able to reevaluate myself. One of them was a nurse, and the other one was an accountant for a company called Compass, which I don't even know if they even still exist anymore, because I know they were getting in a lot of trouble with Social Security, so they might not even be a business anymore. Because after they went under new management, their whole program fell apart. That's how I ended up with my own check, because I was with them. And like I said, the woman I met that worked there, she left the company. After she left, the company's quality just went downhill. Their staff became more rude and more offensive. They were giving me checks I couldn't get cash at Walmart for some reason, because we didn't have like a certain bank, and like there wasn't anyone to go in. So yeah, but that aside, like I said, going to that, like I said, breaking my hip and going to a medical place and getting reevaluated for independent living, um, was, you know, like I said, I went somewhere medical and met two women. The whole time I thought it was because I was having this psychological stress from my grandma being really sick. I thought I was up in a mental ward, you know, and so I ended up there to get reevaluated on my ability to function myself. I still had to have somebody with my money for a while, but then, like I said, for a while with my sister-in-law, when Compass started going downhill, then my sister-in-law didn't really want to do it, and then I ended up being with my own check because there weren't other options. And like I said, I prioritized my bills first and all that stuff. But what if the way I think this is going to be resolved isn't the way I think it's going to be resolved? Like, I'm thinking, okay, the only thing I can find in the market is two bedrooms. All the one bedroom places, the waiting list is mainly only open for two bedroom, but it's still open. And like I keep saying, it's like an act of God, snowball's chance of hell, whatever, for me to find somewhere. Even though I'm actively trying, it's just not getting me anywhere. And every place I call that's income based is, I'm sorry, we have no one bedrooms available. Um, we have no, like all we have is two bedrooms. And I don't know how to find anybody to roommate with. Like that keeps me in a dead end. I don't know how to do that. Like I don't know how this is gonna turn out. All I know is the promise that I was made by God that I wouldn't do without. Okay, so I'm not doing without. I still have somewhere to stay as long as they take my money. But how long are they going to continue to take my money? How long am I going to deal with the property manager and the district manager not wanting under 55 disabled people here? Like, or whoever's in charge of this whole program. Like, how long is that going to last? How long is this going to hold out? Or how long until this is resolved somehow? Because, like I said, I don't know who's in charge of this decision. I know they're still going to offer income based subsidy because the government told me they are here. But, like, somebody told me they might be just setting up to do elderly only. Because the elderly people aren't being asked to leave, just the younger people are. So I don't know, how is this really going to play out? Like, I have somewhere to stay for now. And I've been promised that I won't do without by God, okay? And, like Scarlett said, I'm going to meet some woman at some point who's going to come to me But like I said, everybody I've talked to, women or not, they've all been, no, we're not going to help you, no, we're not going to help you, no, we're going to help you. Like I said, there's only one woman involved in this who seems to care about my well-being, which is that nurse that I have through Medicaid, who says she's looking into stuff so she can find me something in Central. And like I said, the woman at the Easley building is willing to send me proof of waiting list to give to these guys to show that I'm trying to relocate the best I can. Like that's all I really have. Is some people willing to work with me a little bit, but like as far as, you know, the government people, they're pretty much like, we can't do nothing if they're changing their protocol, which is their right as a business to do so. But why does this protocol even exist is my question. Why does this protocol even exist in housing of elderly only? Why did this even exist? This seems like a very disgusting way of gatekeeping when it comes to housing and other services. I mean, fixed income is fixed income. It's all about $1,000 a month or a little less, or maybe a few dollars more depending on your situation. But why is the entire state of South Carolina saying you have to be 55 or 65 to get certain services? Especially when it comes to housing. Like, why is this gatekeeping even allowed? I mean, my limited fixed income is the same as, not the same, like, but it's the same situation as that guy up there who's on a fixed income, who has the money to buy real groceries or, you know, well, like I said, the only difference between him and me is him being older, he doesn't care about the internet. He has no use for the internet. He has no use for the internet, no real use for, like, modern technology. Same thing with the other older guys. They don't have internet hooked up in their apartment. They don't have, you know, any of this tech stuff. But me, I have to have the tech stuff so I can get medical access, like to get my medicines orders in billed and stuff. These guys, I don't know how they're doing theirs, but I guess mental health picking it up. And that's nothing. Mental health comes and picks them up and takes them to the appointments, but when I asked for that same courtesy for mental health, I didn't get it. Like when I asked for the caseworker person to come get me to take me to appointments, no. But them, they'll come get them every time. Like I said, what is with all this age-restricted BS in this state? What is with this? If you live in another state where everything in the income-based system is being age-restricted, comment below, because this is just BS. That I can't hardly find anything because everything's locked behind a 55 and up payroll or whatever it is. Whatever the age is considered a senior. I don't know what that age is. I just know that older people are getting help if they apply for it. And everything I apply for, I either get no reply at all or I get told seniors only. And I just can't think of all the videos of all the black women with 10 kids that don't pay their rent and don't do what they're supposed to, and they trash the place and lose the place, and it's like thinking about them being what they consider the standard fixed income tenant. And like I said, the only thing that keeps me out of any kind of trouble is I'm not trashing the place. I am paying them money, but they don't want me here. And just because I said the manager is a jerk and she should be fired. But for all I know, what if the things that she's doing to make me mad, like not giving me a lower floor because of my leg problems, or not, just what if the stuff she's doing what if it's not even her control? What if she's just doing what they're telling her to do, like a good little robot, and I'm getting mad at her because I don't know. Like I said, this whole decision of getting the younger disabled people out of this building could be over her head. I don't know. But like I said, I've always picked up a negative aura from her anyway since the first day we met. So, like, I don't know what's really going on with any of us. I don't know if Scarlett said let God sort it out. I wish God would hurry up and sort it out. Because I really am getting tired of putting up with this weird crap in my life. Like, I want a stable quality of life. I wish I knew how to get it. Anybody else ever had stuff like that happen? You feel something's going to go one way and it goes another? Or anybody else in some situation of fixed income where your state's making everything pretty much elderly only and pushing out the young people.